Ladies and gentlemen, to whom it concerns, it's The Late Late Show. And here is your host, Gay Byrne.
Oh, Scrappy. Never mind. Good evening. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are gathered here this evening, my brethren all, to congratulate and to join in the celebrations for the 25th anniversary of one of the grandest little bands in the world. Would you welcome, please, the Chieftains? Ladies and gentlemen, we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Chieftains, and it has been said of them that what has endeared them to so many fans down through the years, all the 25 years, is that whether they're in the Carnegie Hall in New York, or the Albert Hall in London, or here at home, or at the Great Wall of China, wherever they are in the world, they have steadfastly maintained their absolute devotion to Irish traditional music, and that has been unwavering all through the years. Good evening to you, Doctor.
Well, now that you mentioned it, good evening to you, Doctor.
Nice to have you with us, Doctor, and congratulations on your 25th. Now, the first thing I have to put to you is that it has been said of you, Doctor, that you operate constantly, non-stop, it says here, like a man with a mission and little time to complete it. Why?
I don't know. It's that terrible urge. There's so much to do, and I suppose we're devils for punishment, you might say. But no, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it, and it's a whole big family here. You know, it's just that's the way it is. And
but it's mainly the money.
to keep the pot boiling anyway.
Yes, and you still persist in saying that you let the music speak for itself down through the years.
That's right. Like we place music first, places and people we play for second, and then the few bob if they roll in, or if it rolls in third. And that's our sort of priorities.
Martin, you've been with them since day one, with the Chieftains, since day one.
Day, yeah.
Yes. Do you ever get fed up with the travelling? Have you had any scares, by the way, at all?
Oh, one in particular. We were actually forced down one time in Moncton. Was it a place called Moncton?
Yeah.
Canada somewhere? Big aircraft forced down to a small airfield, which reminds me, if I may say so, Sean Potts was very much with us at the time. I've never seen this happen before, but we were told, no way can you get off this flight. We were only sitting out the storm. Sean said, watch me. I got off. Oh, yes.
In the middle of Canada.
It's the only one that had sense. The only one with sense enough to get off.
In the middle of Canada.
In the middle of nowhere.
And where did he go?
He got into a taxi and went for and took a trip out to about 80-mile trip to the next town, Halifax, I think it was. And then he started to read his book, and he was quite happy reading. And all of a sudden he looked up and he realised the car was on the wrong side of the road because he couldn't go onto the other side. It was such a wind, you know, it was 90 miles an hour, gale blowing. So I think there was something like that.
Apparently in that part of the world, winds can rise up like to 110 miles. By the way, Paddy was 110 miles an hour, not 90. But Paddy was right. In the taxi on the way to the next town, we came to this gap in the embankment. You know the way these motorways are built with a big high embankment? We came to this gap and the wind was so strong that the car was blowing from one side of the road to the other. And I said, geez, I'm worried about the flight. I nearly killed on the ground. So I got the next flight to St. John's anyway, met them in the hotel and did the gig.
You're happy tonight to be sitting there rather than up here, are you?
Absolutely gay.
Delighted with yourself. Yeah, very good. They all want as well. What about the times of Jim Aiken and so on? Mick, you were there then, were you not?
I was, yeah. That was in the early days before we were, before we started on the road at all, and we were looking around for a manager, or managers were looking around for us. I'm not quite sure which. But I remember we had a big meeting with Jim Aiken anyhow when he told us all he'd be prepared to do for us and so on. And we went away after a couple of hours and discussed it amongst ourselves. And a few of the group, who shall be nameless, decided that Jim wasn't big enough for us. He hadn't got enough experience.
Couldn't handle this at all. Oh dear. Yeah. Wrong, Mick, wrong. Are you still making music, Mick, at all yourself?
I do. I play a little bit, not as much as I used to, but...
He dances a lot.
Dances a lot, I see. Well, yeah. What
Set
about you,
dancing is the
Sean?
big thing.
Are you still doing something?
Oh,
You
I'm
are?
playing all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
I have never stopped.
Yes. Are you recording at the moment?
Well, I've just finished a record, yeah. I'm ready to go now, you know.
Very good.
But I've never stopped. But I miss these guys terribly at times, you know.
Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't miss you enough. I tell you what, there's a young man over here, and he started out in Skid Row with Brush Shields and the late Phil Lynott. Last year, he released an album called Wild Frontier. And in that, he said about marrying the traditional instruments together with a lot of the electronic gear, which has become so popular in the heavy rock scene over the last 10 or 15 years. And we reckon it was one of the first attempts to marry the two different technologies, as it were. And it was very, very successful indeed. Wherever you are at home, turn up your sound for this. Turn up the sound of your television for this. Turn it right up. Don't be afraid of it. Sit well back and turn up the sound. Would you welcome, please, Gary Moore.
They came for him one winter's night. Arrested, he was bound. They said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. They marched him to station house. He waited till the dawn. And as they led to the dock, he knew that he'd been wrong. Stand accused of robbery. in his arms again. She'll over the hills and far away. She prays he will return one day. She'll rest the river, reach the seas. Back in her arms is where he'll be. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and far away.
Hey, Toddy, what about that marriage between all that electronic gear, all that fabulous stuff? Do you reckon you're going to do more of that, or what?
No, not any more than what we're sort of at the moment. Gary had happened last year, and he had this little bit of a jig that he thought he'd like some fiddles and pipes and that in. So we went in and put it down and came out in a single that he had. And then they dressed me up in leather, would you believe, for the video. I was like Napoleon gone wrong or something. And this hat and all, it's just dreadful. I saw this thing happening. No motorbikes.
That stuff is kind of frowned upon by the traditional devotees.
Well, within it there, he's a great guitarist and a great. Tremendous soloist.
Yeah.
And we were having a bash at a few reels there earlier on. So he'd surprise you.
Good pair. Yeah. Well, we'll go back to something rather more pure and more original and more traditional, because we have a lady now who was the first voice to be heard on a Chieftains album. If you remember it, it was called Bonaparte's Retreat, 1976, and she's travelled all the way from Galway tonight to be with us with her husband, Johnny. Would you welcome, please, Dolores Keane?
Lovely, lovely.
Horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen, horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen. Dance to your shadow and it's good to be living life. Dance to your shadow and there's nothing but an e. Dance to your shadow and it's good to be living life. Dance to your shadow and there's nothing but an e. Horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen, horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen. Hen, hen, haradara hen, hen, haradara hen, hen, haradara hen, haradara ro. Hen, hen, haradara hen, hen, haradara hen, hen, haradara hen, haradara ro. There are tunes in the river water, pools in the river water, pools in the river and the river calls him. There are tunes in the river water, pools in the river water, pools in the river and the river calls him. Hen, hen, haradara hen, hen, haradara hen, hen, haradara hen, haradara ro. Horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen, horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen. Dance to your shadow and it's good to be living life. Dance to your shadow and it's nothing but an e. Dance to your shadow and it's good to be living life. Dance to your shadow and it's nothing but an e. Horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen, horo, haradara horo, haradara horo, haradara hingi handen.
orchestra. Dolores Keane, Johnny Faulkner. We have a whole host of luminaries and well-known people, fans, admirers and friends, all of the Chieftains down through the years here in the audience tonight. But first of all, while I have the opportunity, while he's right beside me, I thought I would turn to Mr. Derek Bell. And Mr. Bell, you look a decent, respectable, nice man. How did
Yes, I was till I joined the
That's
Chieftains.
right, that's what I was about to say.
Yes.
Yes. How did you come to get involved with such people?
By sheer accident.
Sheer accident.
There's a gentleman sitting up there with a beautiful beard called Alan Tongue, and he introduced me to the group in the BBC in the days when I used to play a large version of this thing in the orchestra.
Yes.
And he thought it'd be a good idea to get together. And we drifted together, and we never drifted apart.
And did you have to give up the day job in order to join them?
I didn't actually have to, but they bribed me to.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah. And what was the attitude and the reaction of your friends in the BBC in the North to your joining them?
Well, I have a feeling that there was a very interesting music director upstairs who took a fatherly interest in me. And he said, whereas, Derek, I'm quite fond of you on your good days, there is no time that I have any time for Paddy Maloney. And either you have to make up your mind you want to play the harp in a very good orchestra with soloists like Heather Harper, or you want to run around with a tatty folk group. You see, a tatty folk group.
How dare...
And that would happen in the little talks upstairs when I was asking leave to get off work to play with the boys.
A tatty folk group?
Yes.
Right enough, I can see what he means.
Yes, so can I.
Have you enjoyed the travel down through the years,
I
Derek?
certainly have. There's no way I could have afforded in that humble job to have seen the world.
Yes. And you
No
have.
way, and I've seen every inch of it except Africa and Latin America. And I'm depending on Dr. Maloney to take me there at the earliest opportunity. Otherwise, I will see that the professor in Trinity vetoes his symphony.
Now, would you, it occurs to me, just while we're getting ready the next piece, would you like to, you have three things there, the harp and the
indeed,
thing
I have
and the
indeed.
piano. Could you ever sort of give a little diddly-eye on one of them, any one of them?
If you give me one guarantee
Yes.
that me piano teacher's not here.
No.
Right.
No. Is Derek Bell's piano teacher here?
No.
No. Grand. Well done. Well. What was it?
So we offer a praise.
What was it? What was it?
Well, I was thinking about you and what a romantic fellow you are. And, you know, and I was thinking how if my name was Gay Byrne, I could shake the world. But I thought I would play you the love music from the second act of Smetana's opera Dalibor. And that was it. Can you think of anything more irrelevant?
To which one can only reply, eat your heart out, Kathleen Watkins. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Anne Courtney of the Dublin City Ballet has long been a fan of the Chieftains. And she especially choreographed a piece called Saura Saura, and Summertime, Summertime, played by the Chieftains. And this tells the story of the dark winter, then coming into the joys of spring, and then the energy and joy of summer, and then gradually going back into the winter again. So would you welcome, please, the ladies and gentlemen of the Dublin City Ballet. Here they are. Ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely fitting that on their 25th anniversary, Trinity College Dublin should have seen fit to confer a doctorate, an honorary doctorate, on our chieftain chief yesterday, as you all know. Our camera crew were down there with Anita and Roisin, and they brought us back some memories. Roll it there, Roisin, please. Just a few snippets of memories from your big day at Trinity College yesterday. Have a look at that. God, I hate you. You had a nicer frock than mine. Now, while that was all going on, not yesterday, I mean that video made yesterday, we got into slight difficulty here. I am confronted with a symphony orchestra who say they are going to play Mozart. Could you elucidate that? Mozart's Hornpipe Concerto, or Gearóid Grant, is that right, Gearóid? Yes, yes. Could you explain? There seems to be a little difficulty about this.
Yeah, well, it's not a bad piece, and he wasn't a bad sort of composer, the old Mozart himself, but I think he robbed tunes the same as us all from the old folk music.
Yes.
And also one of his favourite tenors was a fellow called, a Dubliner, of course, Michael Kelly. And he used to sing for him over there, like the Marriage of Figaro and all that. But
is this true?
This is absolutely true. Yep, it's in the book. But no, what happened was I'm convinced that he gave him a jig called the Piper's Chair.
To Mozart?
Yes.
Kelly gave to Mozart.
That's
yes.
right.
Yes.
And Mozart, you know, sort of pinched it. It must have been in the back of his mind when he wrote
You got a bang of it in the back of his mind.
The horn concerto. Yes. So we've done a little bit of mixture, like scrambled eggs and all that sort of thing. And out came the
horn concerto.
Well, you never know. I mean, judge for yourself. That's
all right, I will. So what is this called then?
Planks de Mozart.
Planks de Mozart. Yes, Professor, in your own time. Thank you. Gearóid Grant conducting the symphony orchestra.
Oh, poor Mozart. He's lucky he's dead. But I do apologize. The man responsible for this piece is that famous Irish decomposer, Wolfhound Maloney. We'll concede defeat, I think. We'll concede defeat.
Thank you all the same, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're going more. This is the wing. The ladies and gentlemen of the RTE Symphony Orchestra, conducted there by Garrod Grant. Thank you very much indeed for coming to join in our celebration. Now, ladies, oh, thank you. Well done. Now, I know that Sean Keane is working on a solo album, and so at the moment is Kevin Conniff. Is that true, Kenneth?
True, yeah.
Would you like to disclose the time you were called upon to advise Paul McGuinness, Kevin?
No. It's too embarrassing. Well, we were recording, I think, Ballad of the Irish Horse or something years ago in Windmill Lane. And Paul asked myself and I think Sean and Mick O'Gorman, who was in the studio at the time, in to look at a video he had of this band who were playing around the pubs in Dublin. And he wanted our opinion on them. And we listened to the video, looked at the video, and I said, well, I'm more into real rock and roll, like, you know, they're okay, but... And he said, no, I'm thinking of managing them. And I said, well, I wouldn't give up the day job, you know. He was talking about you too, of course.
Yes, there was
so I was wrong.
An unfortunate man called Dick Rowe in Decca who turned down the Beatles, so you joined him. You go to your grave as the guy who said, no, you too. Come on now, Kevin, sing a little song for us, please. A little unaccompanied, or whatever you like. Here we go now. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Conniff, coming down. Do a little more.
Well, the year that's in it, I suppose I better sing a Dublin song. Not only is it a Dublin song, but it's from Donnybrook as well. And Frank Hart will know this. I learned it from the singing of a travelling woman. I think she's now settled in Wexford, Mary McGrath. And it tells the story of a young man on his way to Donnybrook Fair. And unfortunately for him, he meets up with a beautiful dark-haired woman called Ellen Brown.
Oh, lovely.
As I walked out one morning, one day for to have some fun, 'twas out through Dublin city I carelessly did roam. I met with all me comrade boys on the outskirts of the town. Oh, and who should chance to walk my way but the lovely Ellen Brown. Says I'm going to Donnybrook, well then so am I, says she. At yonder bar there's a jaunting car, and it's on it we'll go down. Well, no man could have been happier as by her I sat down. Oh, boys, I'd no objection to the lovely Ellen Brown. Well, when we reached Donnybrook, we went into the tent, and it's there we spent the evening enjoying the merriment. And no man could have been happier as by her I sat down. I was admiring all the beauties of the lovely Ellen Brown. Well, when the dance was over, for a bed we did repair. And what did happen after, to use I'll now declare. She took from me my watch and chain, and likewise me £50, and she left me Jack bare naked there, lying on the ground. So come all you handsome young men, wherever that you may be, don't go courting them dark-haired girls, or with any of them agree. For they'll finger all your money, boys, and lay bare your accounts. And they'll leave you to curse Donnybrook like me with Ellen Brown.
Good boy. That'll learn you and serves you right anyway. Now, Doctor, I have to ask you, please, to introduce our next guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Van Morrison.
Van the Man! Van the Man! That's Van the Man! Oh.
The county down one morning last July. From a boring green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself, for you see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, up from Galway to Dublin town. Now me I've seen like a brown Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, she would scratch my head, and I looked with the feeling rare. And I says I to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair. He looked at me and he says he, that's a gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Banff, she's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, up from Galway to Dublin town. Now maid I've seen like a brown Colleen that I met in the county down. Surely there, and I dress in my Sunday clothes. With my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right for a smile from my nut brown rose. No pot, no smoke, no horse, all yoked, till my plow is rust-colored brown. Now a smiling pride from my own fireside sits the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, up from Galway to Dublin town. Now maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, up from Galway to Dublin town. Now maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, up from Galway to Dublin town. Now maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down.
Do another one there, man. Do another one. Do another one. Do another one. Anything at all. delivered to us, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, and it came with many congratulations to you from Ronnie Drew and the Dubliners. They are for you to celebrate with. They are in Chicago, aren't they, tonight? They're in Chicago. They're touring there, and they say, sorry we can't be with you, but we hope your birthday party will do you as much good as ours did. Well, there you are. Also, telex message to the Chieftains from Midge, Ure and Ultravox. It says, many congratulations on your 25th. Sorry we couldn't be there to join in the celebrations, but hope you have a great evening. All the best from Midge, Ure, Chris Cross and Billy Curry. How about that then? All right. Not to be outdone, a classmate of Sean Keen's also rang Joe Quinlan. And he says that he studied welding with Sean at Bolton Street, and there was more singing and fiddling playing than welding.
I'm afraid so.
And stacks of requests rolling in for all kinds of different tunes, and we get as many as we can in. Christy, are you there? Ladies and gentlemen, Christy Moore, Donald Lunny, just come on in. How are you, sir? Come on in here. Come on in here. How are you? Nice to see you. Christy Moore, Donald Lunny, how are you? You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yes. Here. Where have you come from now? Where have you come from? Where were you? You were playing where? In UCD, were you?
Yes, I'm looking for a doctorate in UCD.
Thanks very much. Now, listen, Matt, come on out here and do a little thing with me. Christy, come on out here, just on move. Come on, out here. Come on, do something. Out here and do something. Anything at all. Give us an out tune, yes, and they'll sort of help. They'll assist, yes. A little forward there, yes. A little forward. There you are. That's grand. Yeah, give it a lash there now. Yes, that'll be grand.
Remember
Yeah.
the one that went
Very
down
good.
really big in Berlin?
The one that went down big in Berlin? Yeah. What was that?
You want to hear it now?
Yeah. I'm tempted to say, what was her name? Yeah. I forgot to mention to you, how could I forget to mention it? Thanks for that, Matt. Jackson Brown also sent a telegram, wishes the Chieftains every success on this, their special night. They certainly deserve it. Paul McCartney wishes you all the best for your anniversary, and Art Garfunkel sends best wishes to Paddy and the Chieftains and wish you all a successful show and a happy birthday. So there you are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, couldn't have the Chieftains of a night like this without some good old traditional Irish dance. There's a young lad over there he is, and his name is Fergal. His name is Fergal Fay, and he is a son of Martin's, of course, wouldn't you know? And he has 6 All-Ireland medals for Irish dancing. And he is striving to take this record from his mammy, whose name is Grania McCormack. And she has 8 All-Ireland medals. And that little one in the centre, her name is Dervla Fay, and she's just started out with 1 All-Ireland medal. But she's working on it, So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a welcome, please, for Grania, Fergal, and Dervla. On you go, boys. Here they are. Okay. Grania, Dervla and Ferber there. God, it's a grand family you have all the same, Mr. Fay. Are you very proud of them all? You are, you are. And doesn't she turn you out lovely as well? Wonderful, wonderful. Sure, it's great to have all that talent in one family. Can I get over here, lad? Sorry, I'm sort of screwing you up a bit. I see Desmond. You're welcome, Desmond. John Boorman is here with us as well. Vincent Dowling is here. What is your particular interest, John, in the Chieftains?
Paddy's my neighbour.
Oh.
Lives across the field in Anamo.
You mean you hear this stuff non-stop, do you?
Yes, and he's to the windward side. Comes across. But he's teaching me the whistle, you know.
Is he?
Oh, yes, and I'm teaching him to ride a horse. I have to lift him up.
Hello, Padder. You're very welcome indeed.
Thank you very much.
You remember the old days?
I do.
With the gang?
Yes, indeed.
You're another one who would rather be sitting there than up there, would you?
Well, I couldn't possibly answer that truthfully in this company.
Dolly is here, Kieran is here, but most especially, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome Mick O'Hare, who's joining us. Thank you. How is she going, Chief?
How's she going? No, she's going great.
She's going well?
Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to have you, Mick. Really it is. Eamon de Butler, come over to me. Where are you? You're Eamon, now you were with them in the Kjol Tory cooling days, were you?
That's right.
You were, yes. Were they as bad then as they are now?
A lot worse.
A lot worse.
But I used to have a minibus, and if you're in a group, don't have a minibus because you become the taxi man. And of course, we used to go all around the country carrying Kjoltori Cholan in the minibus. We used to stop. The last stop was Capel Street, where John Kelly would he had his little shop as he has today. And John would pack all his belongings into the van, and then he would say, "Hold on, lads, hold on." And he would run in back into the shop, come out with the big Sidona bottle and splatter the whole bus with this holy water. And then he'd get into the bus and he'd say, "Okay, lads, the fairy coach is on the way again. Off we go." But I remember years ago going up along the coast, I won't say exactly where, and John was our guide, as it were, because he knew the country very well, and he was pointing out the various areas which were most interesting. And John pointed out this particular area where he said the ships of the Spanish Armada were broken up in a big storm. And he said, by God, if they were, he said, the Spaniards came ashore and the locals ate them, says he. And says he, Joe Ryan, the fiddle player, and myself proved that, because a few years ago we came up here and they nearly ate us too.
So there's always great antagonism, I'm told, between the accordion players and the pipers. Is that so?
Well, pipers don't like accordion players. They just, I don't know, but they hate accordion players.
From birth?
Absolutely. And there were two accordion players in Kjoltori Cholan. There was Sonny Brogan, God rest the man, and myself. And Paddy, I don't know what happened, but Paddy made some corrections. Sonny, I think, at least Paddy thought he played a wrong note, and Sonny was corrected by Paddy, you see. And Sonny was absolutely flipping, because Paddy was a very young piper at that time. And Sonny said, "That little whippersnapper of a piper," says he, "I'll beat him with me cap." Says he, "Those pipers have two hands to play their chanters with. We've only 4 fingers on the right hand. We're playing all the tunes they're playing," says he, on the box.
Oh, good times, good times. It's always great to have you, Eamon. You're very welcome indeed. Very welcome. You're great. Rabard, Cunnasty, good to have you here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was all by way of just preparing for, well, not completely by way of, but gives us a chance to welcome our next guest, because she was on tour in Australia last year with the Chieftains, and many is the evening they, as it were, married their talents for the greater pleasure of their audiences. She's joined by Declan Sinnott on guitar and Pat Crowley on keyboard. Let's have a welcome for Mary Black.
School days over, come on then, John, time to be getting your pit boots on with your sock and your moleskin trousers, time you're on your way, time you were learning
Paddy, I think you better introduce our next guest, yes.
First of all, I'd like to say a big welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Guos. Put it that way. Apart from the lovely introduction they're going to give us, we're going to go into a tune called Full of Joy, an ancient Chinese tune full of joy. First of all, Guos, there they go. Tear into it.
Tiernan McBride has a complaint in the audience. He says that you've been playing all night with other people. Would you please do one number just as the Chieftains instead of being crowded out by everybody else? Would you have such a thing? Would you have such a thing?
Trip to Dora down to County Leash.
What?
Oh, that right? Come on. Right. Take it away.
I know you. Many long. I didn't know you were a fan of the Chieftains at all.
Oh, yeah, for many a long day. And I could tell you umpteen stories.
Well, tell us.
But one in particular that stands out. The Chieftains are playing down a little town in the south of Ireland. And I met Matt. And there was a competition for the pub with the best entertainment in it. So Matt and myself went off and bought 2 notebooks and 2 Panluias. And we went in and we sat down and we listened to the musicians, and we gave the impression that we were adjudicators. And we'd nod approvingly every now and again to each other and write down a little. And the publican was watching at this, of course, and he was rubbing the bar. The musicians, one fellow, a bow-round player, come over and he says, "Am I the best bow-round player you ever had in your life?" And I said, "It's hard to say." "It's not hard to say, I am," he says. So we went over into the bar to get a drink. Of course, the publican wouldn't dream of taking money from us. And straight out and repeated it in the next bar and the next bar and the next bar. We ran out of bars before we wasn't able to go.
Nice way to get
True, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Another one about Kevin up there at the Bowround, yeah. Because he was looking for... Bowrounds don't last too long on this game. You know. We went down to the west of Ireland to buy a Bowround, and the fella... They're made from goat skins, but he didn't have a one made from a goat skin. He had a one made from the skin of a greyhound. And probably you call it a Bowround, I suppose.
Sorry, yes.
But Kevin was out practicing a few tunes in the field when a rabbit went by and the Bowround took after it. Oh, they were great days. And the flag Kyols, I remember. God. I remember one place we were staying and there was all the Chieftains was in it. There was 5 fellas from Roscommon, 4 from Mayo, 2 Pakistanis and 1 Chinaman, and in the other bed there was... Oh, them were the days.
Them were the days. Well done, Paddy, well done. Vincent, what's your connection and what do you have to say by way of tribute to the lads?
Well, I'm working with Paddy on doing a musical with Geraldine Fitzgerald of a John B. Keane play, Sharon's Grave, for the Abbey. And Paddy did the music for my television in the United States of the Playboy of the Western World, and we won an Emmy with it. So, apart from that, Paddy was in the pit at the Queen's when the Abbey was there in those bad old days.
What,
with Sean O'Rea there, yeah.
Were you in the pit, Paddy? I didn't know you were there. I didn't realise that. Desmond Guinness, good evening to you. Have you a tribute to pay to the boys?
I love Paddy. I love all his boys that work with him. I've always loved him. I've known him ever since when he was working in Baxendale's. I used to ring him up in the plumbing department.
What for, Desmond?
Just to talk to him.
But there's just one thing, if I may say, Paddy, about the Chieftains, and I know they're together for 25 years, and I know they've been away from their families for months and weeks at a time, and it can be very lonely for their wives, and their wives are here tonight, and on their behalf, they don't know I'm saying this, but I think they've been very supportive and very dedicated and patient, and they're all here, with the exception of Kevin, who doesn't have a wife yet, but all the other the Chieftains' wives are here, and I think they deserve a round of applause.
Will you introduce us first of all? These fellas with your dad?
I recall Sean Keane and Mary courting. I recall when you were talking to the wives, I was going to mention that actually, Dolly, because I remember as kids, we go to bed and then we come down when they had the rehearsal in Galloping Green with Kilturry Holan, and Paddy and company be over on one side and the piano was in the middle of the room, and John Kelly would be sitting beside that. There was a hole in the floor and he used to bounce the leg like that, and the chair was bouncing towards the hole all the time. We're all waiting for the leg to go down, but it never would. But do you remember the nights in the basement? Yes. And there was 2 problems in the basement. The only time, thanks be to God, we ever had to call a fire brigade was to empty out a flood out of the basement. Because it was in the way for a party that was supposed to be down there. And of course, when there wasn't a flood there, the place was full of smoke because the fire wouldn't draft properly, so you couldn't see anyone.
Mr. Edward Delaney, sir, you're welcome. Good day to you.
Thank you very much.
Good day to you.
I really wanted to pay a small tribute to the Chieftains because I designed almost all the Chieftain record sleeves, and they were all bestsellers. But
because of the design.
because of the front design.
Glenn Barr, good evening to you. I thought nothing would remove you from up north, and what takes you down here from attending to your various projects, sir?
Just to pay tribute to the Chieftains again.
Why? What do they mean to you now, Glenn?
They're the only group that I've ever really attached to in traditional music has been the Chieftains, along with all the other artists tonight, Christy Moore and Mary Black and people like that. And it's, without bringing in the politics, it's been very difficult for the Protestants of the North to associate with the traditional music. And to me, the Chieftains have been the one group that have been able to transcend the difference between the two groups in the North. And I've always wanted to pay tribute to them. And I'm delighted tonight to be able to be given that opportunity.
That's very nice, Glenn. Nicely spoken, sir, and you're very welcome in this house tonight. And thank you for coming. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin. Kevin, where are you, Kevin? There's a lovely, lovely lady who's gone to extraordinary lengths to be here tonight because she wanted to be with you, Kevin. She's just left her group on the stage at the Gaiety to be on time to sing with you.
Where is she? Quick.
Over there. Moira Niamh Rainoin, ladies and gentlemen, from Clonmel, straight up from the Gaiety Theatre. She wants to sing with her. Here, that's enough of that. Here, there's no need to go mad, just sing.
There's a chorus in this, and there's people like Frank Hart and Chris Meehan and Philip King in the audience. And the band indeed join in on this. It's called Here's a Health to the Company. Kind friends and companions, come join me in rhyme. Come lift up your voices in chorus with mine. Come lift up your voices, all agree to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. So here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let's drink and be merry all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all agree to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. Here's a health to the wee lass that I love so well. For style and for beauty there's none can excel. There's a smile on her countenance as she sits upon my knee. Sure there's no man in this wide world as happy as me. So here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let's drink and be merry all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all agree to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. Our ship lies at anchor, she is ready to dock. I wish her safe landing without any shock. And if ever I should meet you by land or by sea, I will always remember your kindness to me. So here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let us drink and be merry all out of one glass. Let us drink and be merry, all drink to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again.
We rejoice in your success and your continued success. Long may it continue for you all. Are you listening to me, Derek? Yes. I'm paying you a compliment. Watch my lips while I'm speaking.
I was wondering if those fellas wanted any help over there.
Well, you're not going to help them move the piano, Derek. I think
I've got muscles.
Anyway, I wish you great success in the coming 25 years. Here's to the next 25, because you've brought such pleasure. Don't faint, that was all right. You've brought such pleasure and joy and entertainment to so many people throughout the world, and Ireland is proud of you all. So here's to the next 25 years. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Now, we have lined up to close the show and wish the Chieftains happy birthday. We've lined up a session over there. So all of you go over there, and anybody who wants to join in on this, I mean anybody who wants to join in is more than welcome to group or drape themselves otherwise around the piano and see what happens. I haven't the faintest idea what happens from here on, except there will be sound. So this will last about 6 minutes or so if you want to stay with us. Over there, all of you, yes, Derek, take your place. Yes, all of you, you're all included. And anybody else, Dolly, yes, well done, Mary, Douglas, there.
That's a toast from Maury. Step we gaily